She concealed that .357 Magnum behind her back, walked in to her own bedroom, and then fired 3 shots, killing her.
She ran into the backyard. I tried to follow her. She jumped.
This morning, we're spotlighting what could be going on inside the mind of a 14-year-old girl accused of killing her own mother.
This is the story of Carly Gregg, a 14-year-old teenager who killed her mother after her secret was exposed. Her mom had found out she'd been using burner phones and vaping marijuana, but she sits in a Mississippi courtroom, completely unfazed. No fear, no regret, just a calm smile, as if she's waiting for the school bell to ring, not a verdict that could steal her entire life. Carly believed she could make everyone believe her story. Her lawyers described her as a broken child, lost in her own mind, controlled by voices that drove her to do the unthinkable. For a while, the jury almost believed it, until the prosecutor pressed play, and everything changed.
What daughter did you do me? Your daughter tried to shoot you? Yeah. Shooting at me. Oh my God, she killed her mom. She what? She killed her mom. She killed her mom? Yeah, that's what I'm screaming about. What's her name? Carly Gregg.
Hey, come outside for me. Hey, come here. Hey, where's your wife at, bud? Where's your wife at?
She's dead on the floor in that room.
All right.
Is my stepdad okay?
I don't know, baby. I can't talk to you about it.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
The jury is count 1. We, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Greg, guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment. Count 2. We, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Greg, guilty of attempted murder as charged in the indictment.
What you're about to see is the moment Carly Gregg realized the jury would never believe her story again. The moment she knew she wasn't going home. Not that day, not for decades. Her mother was dead, her stepfather was bleeding on the floor, and the truth was all caught on a security camera Carly didn't even know was recording. This is the chilling story of an honor student who turned a .357 Magnum into an execution weapon inside her own home. What happened in Brandon, Mississippi on March 19, 2024 will shatter everything you thought you knew about teenage rage and premeditated murder, and how her own house security camera can expose even the most carefully built lie. But before we dive into one of Mississippi's most shocking crimes and uncover what really happened on March 19, 2024, make sure to subscribe She Knows Crime, where we explore the hidden psychology behind women who commit unthinkable acts. Subscribe now for new cases every week. Carly Gregg, a teenage girl who, at just 14, seemed like any other bright and high-achieving student. She was confident, funny, and focused. A 10th grader at Northwest Rankin High School in Brandon, Mississippi, where her mother, Ashley Smiley, worked as a math teacher. Teachers described Carly as polite and intelligent, while friends called her kind, witty, and easy to talk to. On the outside, 14-year-old Carly Gregg seemed like a happy, responsible girl with a bright future. Her mother, 40-year-old Ashley Smiley, was a kind, patient math teacher, loved by her students and family alike. She had once been married to Kevin Gregg, Carly's biological father, who struggled with addiction and mental illness. After their divorce, Ashley raised Carly mostly on her own until she remarried Heath Smiley, a gentle man who cared deeply for them both. For a while, life at the Smiley home was peaceful, but by early 2024, things began to change. Carly became quiet, withdrawn, and distant. What looked like ordinary teenage behavior soon grew darker. She struggled to sleep, shifting between cheerful and detached moods. Then her secrets started surfacing. Carly was caught using burner phones, vaping marijuana, and messaging an older boy. She had created 2 lives, one as a polite, high-achieving student, and another filled with lies and defiance. When confronted, she lashed out, torn between guilt and fear. Her therapist later revealed Carly felt immense pressure to be perfect for her mother, which twisted into self-loathing and emotional collapse. By December 2023, Ashley and Heath sought professional professional help. Carly began therapy, and in January 2024, she was prescribed Zoloft for anxiety and depression. For a while, it seemed to help, but her calm surface hit a deep unraveling. She started hearing voices, feeling detached from reality, and writing disturbing journal entries. On March 12, 2024, 1 week before the tragedy, she wrote, "I think I had a psychotic break earlier. The whole ordeal is quite silly. I actually spoke with one of the voices in my head. My particular friend and I were practically screaming bloodthirstily and ravenously." That chilling entry later became key evidence. Some saw it as a cry for help. Others believed it was part of a calculated plan. The next day, Carly told her nurse practitioner that Zoloft made her feel numb. Her prescription was switched to Lexapro. Just 6 days before the shooting, no one realized how fragile she'd become. Then came March 19, 2024, a normal Tuesday in Brandon, Mississippi. Ashley went to teach at Northwest Rankin High School, where Carly also studied. Heath left for work. But that morning, one of Carly's friends approached Ashley, revealing the truth. Carly had been vaping, using burner phones, and secretly talking to boys. Ashley wasn't furious, just worried. After school, she drove Carly home, determined to confront the situation calmly. Neither of them knew their security cameras would soon capture everything. At 3:54 p.m., footage showed Ashley's car pulling into the garage. She and Carly entered the house, bringing the dogs inside. Nothing seemed unusual. No shouting, no visible tension. The house layout was simple. Garage to laundry, laundry to kitchen, Carly's room on the right, and the master bedroom down the hall. Cameras continuously recorded several areas: garage, kitchen, and laundry. Ashley went straight to Carly's room, likely searching for the vape pens and phones her friend mentioned. Carly took the dogs outside, but when she came back in, something had changed. The footage showed her walking through the kitchen slowly, calm but focused. She looked toward her bedroom, where Ashley was searching. Then, instead of going in, she turned toward the master bedroom. At around 4 p.m., Carly entered her parents' room and retrieved her mother's .357 Magnum handgun from under the mattress. Holding it behind her back, she walked quietly down the hallway. Less than a minute later, she passed back toward her room, the weapon still hidden in her right hand. When she reached the kitchen, Carly paused, checking to see if her mother had left her room. She hadn't. Carly then stepped inside her bedroom, and what happened next would soon shatter her entire world. 3 gunshots shattered the quiet home in Brandon, Mississippi. Ashley Smiley was hit multiple times, first in the shoulder, then the neck, and finally in the face, just above her right eye. That last shot, fired from less than 3 feet away, ended her life within minutes. But what Carly Gregg did next is what made this case truly disturbing. Instead of calling for help, she walked calmly back to the kitchen and sat down. Security footage shows her holding the gun behind her back, almost casual. The time was between 4:43 and 4:47 p.m., yet Carly didn't call 911 until nearly 10 minutes later, meaning she spent over 10 minutes alone with her mother's body, doing everything except trying to save her. Instead, she picked up her mother's iPhone from the counter, unlocked it using the passcode she already knew, and began impersonating her mother. She texted her stepfather, Heath Smiley, "When will you be home, honey?" using the exact pet name Ashley always used. Heath replied he'd be home soon. Carly answered with a thumbs-up emoji, pretending everything was fine. Moments later, Carly started calling her friends. She FaceTimed several of them, crying and saying she had done something terrible. She told one particular friend to come over. When that friend arrived, Carly led her inside and showed her mother's body lying on the bedroom floor. The friend later testified that Carly seemed disturbingly calm, explaining what she'd done, as if describing something ordinary. Then Carly said something that froze her blood. "I put 3 in my mom. I've got 3 more for my stepdad. He's on his way home now." She told her friend to hide in the backyard. The security camera recorded it all: the eerie calm, the movements, and even the faint sound of Carly softly humming to herself while her mother's body lay lifeless in the next room. Heath Smiley left work around 5 p.m., unaware of the horror waiting at home. The text he'd received earlier from Ashley seemed normal, so he walked inside through the laundry room door without hesitation. But the moment he stepped into the kitchen, Carly was there, gun in hand. She fired several times. One bullet struck Heath in the shoulder, grazing dangerously close to his face. In shock and pain, Heath charged toward her, trying to wrestle the gun away. More shots went off during the struggle, echoing through the house. Carly didn't speak a word. She just screamed, a wild, chilling sound that Heath later said didn't even sound human. Using his strength, Heath finally overpowered her and tore the gun from her hands. The instant he did, Carly bolted out the back door, sprinting down the street with her terrified friend following behind. Heath, bleeding and in shock, searched the house for an intruder, unable to believe what had happened. He thought Carly had only been defending herself, but when he stepped into her bedroom, he froze. Ashley lay motionless on the floor. Trembling, he grabbed his phone and called 911.
Your daughter tried to shoot you? Yeah. Shooting at me. Where is she at? She ran away. How old is she? 14. 14? Okay, ma'am, stay on the phone. Ma'am, stay on the phone with me. Just calm down. What's your name? Heath Smiley. Heath Smiley? Yes, sir. Did she hit you? Yeah, I got hit in the neck a little bit. Okay, so did graze your neck? Yes, sir. All right. And what's her name? Carly Gregg. Carly Gregg? Does she still have a gun on her? I took it from her. She ran. You took it from her and she ran? Yes, sir. She was screaming something at me I couldn't understand. I locked the door. She's outside. I don't know what's going on. Which way did she run off to? She ran into the backyard and went over a fence. Ran into the backyard and went over your fence? Yeah. What is she wearing? T-shirt, gray shirt and some jeans. Gray shirt and jeans? About how tall is she? 5'2". About 5'2"? What color hair? Brownish. Brownish, just short hair. 5'2" with back door, she opened fire on me. And was just screaming. Okay, just calm down for me. We got everybody headed for the She what? She killed her mom. She killed her mom? Yeah, that's what I'm screaming about. Where's the mom? When I do that, she tried to kill me. Where's the mom? Sir. Where's your wife? She's dead on the floor of my stepdaughter's room. She's on the floor in your stepdaughter's room? She's my stepdaughter and her mom. I don't know what's going on. The stepdaughter's been in therapy for a little while trying to work out some problems.
Ambulance and police arrived within minutes. The once quiet street on Ashton Way in Brandon, Mississippi was suddenly filled with flashing lights and emergency vehicles.
Listen to me, okay? I need to get some information from you. What is her name again?
Carly, C-A-R-L-Y.
C-A-R-L-Y?
Carly Madison Greg, G-R-E-G-G.
G-R-E-G-G?
She's my stepdaughter.
Alright.
Her dad lives in Starkville, and we're having all kind of problems with him. He's
While first responders treated Heath and secured the house, officers began searching for Carly. She had fled on foot, jumping fences and cutting through backyards. A deputy on Farmington Boulevard, just a few streets away, spotted a young girl near a drainage ditch. Disoriented and scared, it was Carly. She quietly admitted involvement. Officers handcuffed her and placed her in the patrol car. During the ride, Carly kept asking if Heath was okay. The car stopped briefly so officers could perform a gunshot residue test on her hands.
Alright.
Is my stepdad okay?
I don't know, baby. I can't talk to you about this.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Investigators uncovered a disturbing scene. Security footage, text messages, phone records, and physical evidence pieced together the full story of what happened. But the real question wasn't what Carly did. It was why. Was it a mental breakdown or a deliberate act? Carly Madison Greg was first held in juvenile detention, but due to the crime's severity, prosecutors charged her as an adult.
Verdict of the jury is count 1. We, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Greg, guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment. Count 2. We, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Greg, guilty of attempted murder as charged in the indictment. Count 3. We, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Greg, guilty of tampering with evidence as charged in the indictment.
Carly faced 3 charges: first-degree murder for killing her mother, Ashley Smiley, attempted murder for shooting her stepfather, Heath Smiley, and tampering with evidence for hiding the kitchen camera. Under Mississippi law, first-degree murder carries life with or without parole. The death penalty was off the table since she was a juvenile, but being tried as an adult meant isolation in an adult facility, where she spent 6 months alone in a cell with only her lawyers as visitors. Her defense argued the isolation worsened her fragile mental state, but the judge said state law left no other option. As trial preparations began, both sides built opposing narratives. The prosecution portrayed Carly as a manipulative teen living a double life, vaping, hiding burner phones, and lying to her parents. When Ashley discovered her secrets, they claimed Carly made a cold, calculated choice to kill. Her calm behavior on camera, the text to Heath mimicking her mother's voice, and how she arranged the body were proof she knew exactly what she'd done. The defense painted a very different picture: a deeply ill 14-year-old girl suffering from mental instability. They pointed to her father's history of schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, saying Carly had inherited that vulnerability. She'd long heard voices, self-harmed, and felt detached from reality. Just 6 days before the shooting, her antidepressant was switched from Zoloft to Lexapro, a change that can trigger psychotic episodes. By March 19th, they argued, Carly was in a full mental break, unable to understand her actions. Still, Mississippi's insanity law required proof she was entirely unaware of right and wrong, a defense that succeeds in less than 1% of cases. Yet her attorneys believed they could prove it. Then, just before trial, prosecutors offered a deal: plead guilty and serve 40 years. When it came time to decide, Carly stunned everyone with her choice.
All right, Miss Gregg, did you receive that recommendation of 40 years?
Yes, sir.
And it was your choice and your choice alone to reject that recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor.
At just 14, Carly Madison Greg chose to face a jury instead of accepting a 40-year prison deal. Her lawyers backed the decision, confident they could prove her mental illness and show she needed treatment, not punishment. In court, Carly looked far younger than her age, often crying, covering her ears during painful testimony, and appearing deeply disturbed by what she saw and heard.
In all the time that you've known Carly, would you describe her as callous?
No.
Would you describe her as calculating?
No, except with math.
Would you describe her as diabolical?
No.
How would you describe Carly?
She's just a sweet little girl ever since I've known her. And, you know, even when we take her to the playground, instead of running around playing, a lot of times she would be pushing other kids on the swing and the little...
But then, Heath had to relive the most devastating moment of that day, discovering Ashley's body in Carly's bedroom.
Heath, when you saw her laying there, what's the very next thing that you did?
Checked her pulse, see, and kind of moved the towel, and then called 911.
And Heath, when you moved the towel, what did you see?
I knew she had been shot. There was blood around, but I don't really recall exactly where. Somewhere in the right side of her face.
The courtroom fell silent, broken only by Carly's quiet sobs at the defense table. It was an emotional moment that set the tone for the rest of the trial. The focus soon shifted from what Carly had done to why she had done it. Both sides presented mental health experts with drastically different stories. The prosecution's specialist agreed Carly was a troubled teen dealing with anxiety and depression, but not legally insane. They argued her actions were deliberate and calculated. Unlocking her mother's phone, mimicking her tone in a message, and luring Heath home were not signs of confusion, but of intent. Even her therapist testified that she had never shown signs of psychosis or violent behavior. Meanwhile, the defense painted Carly as a mentally fragile child whose mind had broken after a medication switch. They argued she suffered from hallucinations, deep emotional pain, and lacked control on the day of the killing. Her lawyer, Bridget Todd, told the jury this was not an act of evil, but of illness, a tragedy that destroyed 3 lives: Ashley's, Heath's, and Carly's. Todd pleaded with the jury to see Carly not as a monster, but as a 14-year-old in desperate need of help, not a lifetime in prison. The jury deliberated for less than 2 hours, a clear sign that they had reached a firm consensus.
The verdicts appear to be in proper form. Verdict of the jury is count 1. We, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Greg, guilty of first-degree murder as charged in the indictment. Count 2. We, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Greg, guilty of attempted murder as charged in the indictment. Count 3. We, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Greg, guilty of tampering with evidence as charged in the indictment. Beginning on the first row, ma'am, is that your verdict? Sir, is that your verdict?
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, is that your verdict? Sir, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? You gotta answer out loud, ma'am, I'm sorry. On the back row, sir, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Sir, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? That verdict is proper and unanimous.
The jury fully rejected the insanity defense, agreeing Carly knew exactly what she was doing. Under Mississippi law, they had 3 sentencing options: life with parole, life without parole, or letting the judge decide.
The verdicts read as follows. As to count 1, we, the jury, sentence the defendant, Carly Madison Greg, to life imprisonment. As to count 2, we, the jury, sentence the defendant, Carly Madison Greg, to life imprisonment.
The verdict was life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. For the attempted murder charge, Carly received another life sentence to run concurrently. At just 15 years old, Carly Madison Greg was sentenced to spend the rest of her life in prison. Reactions were mixed. Ashley Smiley's family felt justice had been served, while others were heartbroken that a child would spend her entire life behind bars. Carly wept quietly as deputies led her back to the detention center, where she would remain until transferred to an adult facility. Carly's father, Kevin Gregg, spoke to the media, saying her illness was inherited and that the system had failed her long before the tragedy. Her defense team pushed for a new trial, claiming key mental health evidence had been excluded, specifically Kevin's account of Carly's childhood hallucinations. Judge Dwayne Arthur denied the motion, ruling it would not have changed the verdict. The defense has since appealed to the Mississippi Court of Appeals, though reversals are rare. For now, Carly remains in a youth correctional facility in Pearl and will be moved to the Central Mississippi Correctional Facility at 18, where she will spend the rest of her life. Her attorney, Bridget Todd, insists the system failed, arguing a mentally ill child should never have been tried as an adult. The prosecution maintains that justice was done and Carly understood her actions. Her appeal could take years, and even if granted, it would mean another trial, not freedom. For now, she remains behind bars, just 15 years old, facing a lifetime shaped by what happened when she was 14. If you found this case fascinating, make sure to subscribe for more true crime stories and in-depth explorations of the psychology behind shocking acts.